All right, welcome back. Um, okay, let's take a look at some of the examples of blurbs on Amazon of some of my favorite authors to see if we can find the tropes that they're using. All right, so first up, we looked at these before. I'm going to go on ahead and share these other screen on Amazon so you can read along with me. Right here. There we go. All right. So, reading the blurb, he's been accused of being far too blunt. Like that time he accused her of stealing her company from her best friend. Can Travis and Shayla overcome their differences and find a happily ever after together? Let's see here. Travis Cooper is the youngest son in a family stuffed with loud opinions and ginger haired powerhouses. Sorry, lost my place there. Yes, he has a loud bark too. He has to in he has in order to get the 10,000 dairy cows he's responsible for. Wow, to listen to him. So there's some animals involved. But when he happens upon Shayla Nelson stranded on the side of the road, he probably doesn't need to tell her A, that he used to date her best friend, and B, that Shayla stole her successful outdoor outfitters company from that best friend. Besides the fact that it's not true, Travis should know better, and he does, honestly. He was just flustered that his most recent girlfriend had broken up with him only the day before. Shayla not only didn't steal the company from her former best friend, she's worked hard to mend the bridges between her and everyone that had gotten hurt in the tangled mess. When she runs into Travis again a few months later, there's still plenty of sparks flying between them. This time, though, it's the romantic kind and not the accusatory type. When he asked her to be his date to the annual fall ball in Sweetwater Falls, Shayla finds herself wanting to say yes to the handsome cowboy. He's never had a relationship for longer than a couple of months. She won't be able to put up with his attitude for long. But can Shayla tame the cross cowboy and capture his heart? Or will she have to cut Travis loose the way every other woman has? All right, interesting. We're going to go back to the other. Stop that share and we'll start up the slides. All right, so Cross Cowboy by Alana Johnson. All right, so what tropes do we see? We definitely see cowboy, perhaps tortured hero, enemies to lovers, and I also see family, brothers in there, which is also popular in sweet romance too. Okay, let's look at another one. And look at another share. There we go. The next one is Moose Beloved by Moose Beloved, a small town romance by Jacqueline Winters. She's caught in a bind. He's hiding a heartbreaking pledge. Will Alaska's charm help them give in to their heart's desire? Cadence Whitmore struggles to find time for herself, so she's barely able to persuade her demanding boss to let her travel to a small town Alaskan town for the reading of her great aunt's will. But when she arrives, she learns she and her two sisters have inherited a charming lodge that none of them wants. Widower Ford Harris puts his little sister's life before everything, but to claim his employer's deathbed promise of her college tuition, the clever handyman needs to convince the late woman's pretty niece to hold on to the property, and as he works closely with the reluctant landlord to spruce up the place for sale, his plans get complicated when he starts falling for the gorgeous outsider. As Cadence settles into the tight-knit community, she questions if she really wants to leave the quaint Bayside village and the attentive man she finds it hard to resist. But Ford fears the moment he reveals his secret vow. He may lose her forever. Can the confused couple face the truth and let destiny pave the way to a happily ever after? All right. So let's go on ahead and go back to the other slides. All right, so there you go, Moose Be Love by Jacqueline Winters. So what tropes are we seeing here? I think that the tropes, widower and second chance love, obviously. Fish out of water. She's the city girl in the slow-moving, intimate, small Alaskan town. Secrets that hurt, perhaps. He's keeping something from her, and he knows it will hurt her. She's also a secret heir. She's got this charming lodge that was willed to her. How wonderful. And that title, it tells you something, that this is a small town, that this is a familiar setting for sweet romance. All right, so lastly we have coming up Her Big Fat Dreamy Billionaire Ex by Victorine Leesky. Let's go on ahead and take a look at that one. All right, and the next one, right there. Remember we saw that earlier. All right, reading the blurb, Felicity should have suspected something when she got hired to take pictures at a resort in Belize, all expenses paid. When she arrives and bumps into her ex-fiancé Aiden, she realizes she's been set up. His grandmother is playing matchmaker, and every time she turns around, Grams has forced Aiden and her together. But she can't fall for him again. It was a disaster last time, and she doesn't want to repeat the past. Aiden can't believe Felicity is at his resort. She broke his heart 5 years ago, and he's determined not to allow it to happen again. But one disaster after another keeps forcing them together, and he's sure Grams is behind all of it. He's just not sure how long he can hold out without pulling Felicity into his arms and confessing that he never really got over her. All right, so I think that title says a lot, obviously. We're going to go on ahead and new share back to the slides. There we go. So obviously the title says billionaire. So we've already discussed that's obviously one of the tropes that are in it. Ex, so it's somebody that they know each other. Remember? So that sets up a lot of conflict in itself. And then the last one in the blurb, matchmaker, love it, check, and second chance at love, maybe. All right, so here's an idea I've come up with. Put slips of paper into a bowl or jar of all of the tropes, those 73 tropes, and then draw out 3 or more and make a story out of it. And I'm going to do that right now. Oh dear. Okay. Blue Sharpie is occupations, pink is behaviors, and purple is feelings is what I did. So let's see what we get from a 3-slip pull. There's 1. There's 2. And let's go with something. Come on. Come on. All right. And the last one, that one. Okay. So, oh, all right. Can you read that? Guy next door. Oh, first love. Love that. And lastly, best friend's sibling. Okay, let me stop this share right now so that you can see me. All right, there we go. Best friend's sibling, first love. Ooh, those two kind of go together really well, don't they? All right, and then lastly, guy next door. Okay, so obviously best friend's sibling and guy next door kind of go together too. So this really is kind of it's not super tense. It's got a lot of conflict in it, but they're all kind of the same conflict. So let's grab one more. All right. Okay. Ooh, scars from the past. Okay, so this is my story. Jack Reynolds, the guy next door, was her first love when she was only 10 years old and he was 16. So we got a little age gap in there too. See how I'm layering them? But Jack's best friends with Sally's brother. And they went to college together, and maybe they were roommates after college. They are tight. They're like this. However, Sally has experienced scars. She lost her parents 5 years ago in a horrific car accident. She finds it hard to trust people. She can't let her heart go when it's been broken so much. So that right there, those 4 slips just helped us to start a story. I totally suggest that you do this. I invite you to check out more stories, reading both the blurbs and the stories. See how authors use tropes to help readers to feel comfortable with choosing that story and that book. It also sets expectations of what the story will include. Okay, up next, we're looking at point of view and tense for a story. Also, 2 story essentials.